seconds. They get it to Holland. He's looking for the winner. Gets it back. Buzelis, 2 seconds for the win. Birthday cake. Matas Buzelis. Everybody can get a piece.
They don't know about me.
Onions! I'm working on my Bill Raftery, legendary broadcaster impression. We got to pay a little homage to him. When it comes to a game winner, you got to shout, onions! I love it. Anyway, guys, welcome to NBA G League Ignite Takeover. I'm Mike Davis. That's Gianna Hearn.
And that video is a prime example of where the team's morale is at right now. Coming up on NBA G League Ignite Takeover, how the return of Matas Buzelis has sparked this Ignite team. Plus, we're taking you inside the NBA in-season tournament. Then later on, the creator of GTV Hoops and NBA G League host Jeffrey Kee joins us in studio.
Yes, I'm excited for that. But first, we need to talk about Matas Buzelis and the impact this young man is having on the team. It's time to shock the court. So after starting 0-7, the Ignite have won 4 out of their last 5 games, and a big reason for this turnaround is the play and infusion of the 6'11 stud prospect from Chicago, Matas Buzelis. Now, 2 games ago, he hit that game winner we showed you off the top of the show against the Rip City Remix. In that game, Matas had 21 points, 8 boards, and 3 steals, while Ron Holland led the team in scoring with 28 points. But last night, facing the Rip City Remix again, Buzelis led the team in scoring, dropping 25 points. Gianna, just how big of a role is Matas playing in this team's turnaround?
Let's talk about it. 4 wins. And all 4 of those games, Matas Buzelis has played. You know, he's played 5 games. They're 4-1 with him there. So, I mean, that's got to say something. We have a stat line like that. But he has just really settled into the game. I know we're going to dive into him deeper, but his presence is really helping this team.
I love watching this kid play at 6'11 with a great feel for the game. It's just so natural. Matas is a matchup nightmare. You know, he can go coast to coast. He can score from really anywhere on the floor. And, man, that step-back fadeaway, seeing it in person, it's just filthy, ladies and gentlemen. And now an ankle injury actually sidelined him for the beginning of the season, but he's averaging 15.4 points per game. Gianna, what is impressing you most about this top NBA prospect when it comes to his game on the floor?
You know, I think what it is that how easily he settled into the game. He missed part of the season so far because of that injury, and it's not taking him a long time to settle in. You would think a young man like this, it would be like, okay, much like the rest of the Ignite players, they've played how many games? It's going to take him a minute. But really, after like game 2, he was like in his flow. You say nasty. I don't know. I say he's just so pretty. Like, and I know you don't want to say that about an athlete, but everything he does is just so smooth. It looks effortless, but he puts a lot of effort into this.
I like it, and I just love this young man in general. Here's my sit down one-on-one with Matas Buzelis, and I think you're going to find he's got a big personality to match his big-time game.
Here's Buzelis. He's calling for it in the corners. Up and under.
To be 18 and to commit to a dream at such a young age is such a big deal. You went to 3 high schools, for instance, just to pursue your dream. You're doing gymnastics, you were doing swimming, but eventually, even though you didn't love basketball at first, your dad really took an interest to make sure you were playing basketball. Both your parents played professionally in Lithuania. You have a great pedigree. You have a grandparent who was even an amazing handball player. But tell us, why basketball? Because you said in an interview, basketball is like a drug to you. If you don't practice, you can't sleep at night. There's a part of basketball you just have to play it. How did you learn to love basketball so much?
So basketball is pretty much in our family genes, I'd say. My great-grandfather played it and my grandfather. So like having those genes, I kind of use them to my advantage. Doing swimming and like gymnastics, I pretty much was in every sport. My family kept me occupied, you know, during my young life. So I found a love for basketball like 8th grade. So I just took it to my advantage. I knew that my mom was good, my dad was good. But I also just loved it like so much, and I still love it to this day.
What a monster jam!
You would be zoning out in the middle of your school day just thinking about playing basketball. So it means a lot to you.
It does, it does. It was a little difficult for me to focus in school. I know it sounds kind of crazy for people, like people won't believe that they'd probably say, nah, Modest, you just zoned out because you didn't like school. Nah, I just love basketball more, you know? It would like strike me in the middle of a test while I'm doing a test. I'd like learning new moves, you know, like on YouTube and like watching on my computer, because like the Wi-Fi was blocked for phones and stuff, so I'd pull it up on my computer when the when the teacher got close, I'd close it. But
You were obsessed.
Yeah.
And you're still obsessed.
yes.
Buzelis, this is what he does, the sharpshooter.
Why did you choose Ignite? Because you had offers from top-tier programs, Kentucky, UNC. You passed on all that to come to Ignite. Why Ignite?
People would say I picked Ignite because there's no school, there's no teachers, but I wouldn't say it's that. I think it's different from like college. Of course, it's the pro route, but I have a lot of belief in Coach Hart and all the coaches, you know, T. Scott, Coach Bake, Nick, CJ. They're all going to be a big part of my life. So I'm always going to keep them close, but it's also I just want to keep the main thing, you know? So basketball is the main thing, and that's the most important.
A couple fun things. It looks like you and I, the one thing we have in common, we don't have a lot in common on this. Especially not height, not hooping ability. We both lived in Chicago for some time, but we're both scared of heights.
Oh yeah.
How scared of heights are you? Have you ever been on a roller coaster? At 6'11", are you allowed to go on a roller coaster?
I've never been on a roller coaster, no. I remember my mom used to beg me to go on roller coasters. I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna stay on the ground with my 2 feet. But I would say I'm kind of like trying to get past that fear of heights. Yeah, it's just, I don't really like to play around with my life, you know.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, like,
the thing is, you're already kind of up in the clouds, you know. Like
Yeah.
you're 6'11", so
Exactly.
you can't be scared of heights if you're already that tall.
Yeah, but I like kind of trying to go past the fears that I have, you know. Just I can't live with them for all my life, but I just don't like playing around with my life, I'd say.
I feel the same way.
I want to be alive.
Same with me. Gianna, he says he doesn't want to play around with his life. Let me just say, this kid can play.
I mean, he can really play. And, you know, he said that his name is actually, like, Modest. That's how you would say it. His game is not buttoned up. He's all over the place. He's kind of crazy, but I like it.
We all can't wait to witness this kid's rise. Such a great personality.
Well, coming up, we're taking you inside the NBA in-season tournament. From Ignite alums lighting up the court to a special moment the guys shared with LeBron. That's after the break.
Take a look at that. King James chopping it up with Ron Holland and the guys during the NBA in-season tournament here in Vegas. Let's get into Eye of the Storm. All right, so Gianna, you captured that moment on your phone. Take us back in time to this special moment.
I mean, the Ignite guys were living this moment up. I followed them during the in-season tournament, but this particular moment was my favorite because they really got to interact with the stars and the biggest star of them all, I'll say it right now, LeBron James. And Ron had already taken one shot and missed it, so LeBron was kind of joshing him back and forth because Ron wanted the ball back, and he was like, if you're gonna have it back, you gotta make it. You know, he missed it, but guess what? Babacar Sané, he takes a shot, he makes it, but it was all in good fun. They were just living it up.
I love it so much, and you know, it's so cool. But the best part, if you're dealing with some of those NBA withdrawals, well, you know, the doctor has the perfect prescription. Yep, it's NBA G League Ignite, the team right here in Henderson. There's no team that has produced more NBA talent in the last few years than NBA G League Ignite. And these games at the Dollar Loan Center just feel like a real NBA game. Gianna, tell us, what other special moments did you witness at the in-season tournament here in Vegas?
You know what was really interesting? Team Ignite got to be on the Jumbotron. And there was actors that were in the building and everything like that, but the fans didn't react to some of those famous people, but they reacted to Team Ignite. So I think them moving here to Henderson and to Las Vegas, you can see the city is starting to rally behind them, and you saw that in that cheering. So I thought that was pretty unique and special. But just seeing all the former Ignite alums that were there playing, that was special to highlight for me.
And true NBA fans know how exciting it is to have these major prospects here in our city. So that's great stuff. Now, tell us about this, Gianna.
Yeah, Mike, two of those top prospects that I talked about, they were featured center stage right here at the in-season tournament. Ignite alumni, MarJon Beauchamp and Dyson Daniels.
Yes, and for the in-season tourney semifinals, Milwaukee Bucks forward MarJon Beauchamp scored 5 points, grabbed 6 boards in just 15 minutes of play, while New Orleans guard Dyson Daniels scored 4 points and recorded 8 rebounds in just 17 minutes of play. So, Gianna, from their time with Ignite to the association, how have these two guys developed as NBA players?
I mean, it's been so interesting watching them. And on the Bucks side, they took the team option for MarJon, so he's going to be with the team at least another year. So they really see a future in him. So when you're talking about Ignite, trying to develop guys and produce guys for the next level, they've done it. They've succeeded, not only in just getting them drafted, but guys that are going to stick with the team. You see that investment from the Bucks. And when you talk about Dyson, he actually got to have a start. So we're seeing these guys really not only just making it there, but getting a foothold, which is really hard to do.
I love that.
Well, I caught up with both Dyson Daniels and MarJon after the semifinal games. Let's hear what they had to say regarding their time with Team Ignite.
I've just been learning every day, it's been different and exciting, just to be on the Bucks and learn from, these great vets. And yeah, my life has changed, and I always think Ignite, that's a stepping stone I had, in my journey. They gave me opportunity and when nobody else did, and I always thank them, and yeah, life been great.
It's been great, being in the NBA, being able to, play at the highest league possible. It's been a blessing for me, and I just want to be better and better every game. And shout out Ignite for getting me here and giving me the opportunity. So it all started, with Ignite.
It was a blast, just being in Vegas. It felt like a boxing match out there, with all the lights and. You can barely see the stands, and it was great though. First year experience, and we want to come back next year. Try to take it all, but we fell short today.
For me, it's just about coming out, playing hard. Playing my role, and starting for a reason. So coming out here and playing the right way. And for me, I want to step on the floor every game, give it my best, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come out and play hard. Whether I start, whether I come off the bench, it's all gonna be the same.
Just build good habits. Build good habits now, and carry that over and. You just never know which team you're going to be on. So, I would say just build good habits and, do the little things, because, if you're on a team with Giannis and Dame and stuff, you got to do the little stuff and try to impact the game, and it's not all about scoring, it's about defense, and I'll tell them to stay focused on defense too, that's what gets you on the court.
It's going to be tough at the start, for us, when I was with Ignite, it was tough at the start too, we started off slow, and, once you get together, it's a new group, you start to gel with each other, start to play, with each other, and, the wins will start coming, so, they got a great group of guys, great group of young guys, great coaching staff, so I'm sure they'll be fine, I'm going to keep checking in on them, and hopefully I can get to a game soon.
Great stuff there, G. Now coming up, we're sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, NBA G League host Jeffrey Kee is here in studio. Stick around. He joins us after the short break. Welcome back to Ignite Takeover. Joining us now is my good friend and G League host, Jeffrey Kee. You're on the weekly G with me. I'm so excited to have you here. Jeff, we got to start this one off. Tell me about your rise, because you went from a G League fanatic, you started your own Instagram page, you have a huge following, and now you work for the league.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah. My rise to the G League has been honestly a dream come true. I've been basketball fanatic my whole life. I started following the G League back when it was the D League around 2015. My hometown team was the Delaware 87ers, now the Blue Coats. And so I used to go to all their games, Nate Robinson, Christian Wood, Russ Smith. I used to see all those guys, meet all those guys. And then in 2020, I started a G League page on Instagram called G League TV. And, just like anything, it started off slow, and I was just highlighting the guys in the G League that I liked the most. And over time, it started growing and growing, and guys started hitting me up to make mixtapes for them. And then, before you knew it, it had like 50,000 followers. And around that time, I remember I was playing basketball, and I got a call from this guy in the G League, and he was like, hey, we've seen your page, we've seen what you've been doing. We'd like to bring you on for 2 months. And it was only 2 months, but I just packed my bags. I said yes right away. And, a 2-month job turned into the last 2.5 years. And so it's been a heck of an adventure. The G League actually partnered with my G League page, and now it's called GTV Hoops. And, I'm just kind of living out my basketball dream.
I love it. It's definitely hoop dreams. Let's talk about this. Certified G, so you had, this is the Modest show today. So you had Modest on your first episode. Right. Why Buzelis?
I had Modest on for the first episode because I really wanted to start off with a bang. I was like, okay, we wanted to make this show good. We got to start with either Ron or Modest. And so Ron had a bunch of media activities that week, and so we had to get Modest, and it was fantastic. He was great to talk to. He was very open with us. And to tell you the truth, he's a big name in the G League, but at the time, and even so now, I feel like we didn't know too much about him off the court and his upbringing and stuff like that. So we talked about basketball, of course, but we talked about who Modest is as a person. He gave us all the insight into his family and his love-hate relationship with basketball early on. But he was fantastic to talk to, really fun guy. He spoke with us for over an hour, and I told my friend this. I was like, I really need Modest to become the NBA All-Star, because I would love to say and tell people, yeah, the first guest I ever had on the show became a star in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's already a certified G. So excited. Winter Showcase is coming up. You and I are headed to Orlando to cover it. It's the league's annual in-season tournament. It's actually why there's an in-season tournament in the NBA. But you run the social set during content day. What crazy things are you doing? Because you always have something up your sleeve, like they're drawing each other. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect Ignite to do out there.
Oh, this year we're going to have them doing everything from trivia to asking them NBA questions. I know that they're young. A lot of these guys are 18, 19 years old, but I love asking them questions about those early 2000s NBA days and testing their history on that. We have different games that we're doing as well. And last year was so fun because we had Scoot on the content set, and we had him draw himself.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. We gave him 5 minutes to draw himself. And after 5 minutes was up, he goes, oh, just one more minute. And then before you knew it, he was drawing himself for 20 minutes. It was supposed to be 5 minutes, right? And then he looked at it and he was like, oh, why does my nose look this way? Why does my hair look this way? He was just critiquing himself, but it was so funny. And I actually have that drawing he has of himself hanging in my bedroom.
Yes, I wish you brought it.
He signed it. Yeah, I wish I brought it. And the funny thing is, if Scoot becomes a Hall of Famer, I'm not going to sell it anytime soon. But if Scoot becomes a Hall of Famer, I'm going to list on eBay, sell it, retire, and move to Japan or something like that.
Oh my.
One day that will be in the Louvre. All right, let's have some fun speaking of trivia, okay? We're going to actually test your G League genius, okay? We're going to put this to the test, all right? So let's do some rapid fire questions for everyone at home, okay? You're going to start us off.
All right. Let's start off with an easy one.
Okay.
Who was the highest drafted player from NBA G League Ignite?
Jalen Green, number 2.
Look how quick he answered.
That was quick. Okay, who holds the G League's all-time assist record?
All-time assist record is Larry Drew. For a game?
All time.
All time.
Just all time.
All-time leader in assists? Oh, Curtis Stinson.
Oh, sorry. We didn't even specify.
Yeah,
I mean, wow. Okay.
Special.
Who from the G won Male Athlete of the Year for Team USA while playing in the G?
Reggie. And actually, 3 G League players have won that. So Reggie won it in 2018. Then the year before, Jameel Warney won it when he was with the Texas Legends. And then in 2009, James Michael McAdoo won it.
Just
so
run
3
them off,
G League
Jeff.
guys.
I just want to live inside your cranium.
What?
Oh my God. All right, what is Scoot Henderson's middle name? Speaking of having his
I felt like this was a hard one.
That's tough. I know his real name is Sterling.
Is it
Yes.
Picasso?
Let's take that answer. His real name is Sterling. I don't think people know that.
Yeah, his real name is Sterling. I don't know his middle name. That's a tough one.
All right, that's okay.
All right.
You know what? For this big win, I think you're giving me something.
I am giving you something. So before the show, Mike was telling me that he needed to up his drip a little bit. And just by chance, I had brought this to wear on the show.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. You should wear that while reading us into the next
This is
block.
it.
Now, they gave this for the photo shoot last year for the Delaware Bluecoats. So they wore that for the Mac wore that, Mike Foster wore that. So there's some history to it.
Nothing else needs to be said. Guys, thanks so much, Jeff. Major Key. Next up, we're taking you on a trip to North Las Vegas. This Ignite team is getting out in our community, and after the break, we go to Nellis Air Force Base with the team.
Nellis Air Force Base is sharing their home court. They did it earlier this month. Ignite took a team trip to North Las Vegas for some team bonding, community outreach, and an open practice. The experience meant as much to Nellis as it did the team.
Listening to these guys and them talk about what it takes to be a team is the biggest message we can take from here today. Obviously, we're a young team, a lot of young guys that are learning the game and trying to make sure they put themselves in a position so they can go forward and can continue their career. And I'm doing my best to help. But the message that we're getting from them is all about team, and if one person doesn't do their job, the other person suffers. Ultimately, the whole team suffers. So I think that's a great message for these guys to hear, and I think the morale around the team is actually building and becoming a lot better.
I don't get to go to a lot of NBA games, so seeing a G League practice in person was amazing. I've seen a lot of great players play over the years, and there's some good up-and-coming guys on this team.
Yeah, Gianna, we know basketball is sometimes bigger than basketball, and this is what it's all about, you know, community outreach. It's a beautiful thing, and this is a special organization, so it was a pleasure to be there and spend that day with them. All right, so now we got to talk a little bit about the upcoming schedule.
What's
Let's take a
coming up
look
next?
and see what's happening. This team is hot, so you can see their next game, Salt Lake City Stars. But beyond that, we also got Winter Showcase stuff, right?
That's right. Salt Lake City Stars, they lost last time by 59 points. Hopefully they do something different this time.
All right, and we got a lot more. We'll see you next time here on G League Ignite Takeover.
Thanks for watching Fox 5 News. Watch us live wherever you are, on our mobile, on our streaming news app. And you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.